Okay, you just heard that with us, right? We literally just let the very last chord ring out and fade into silence in this room.
Yeah, what a track, man.
Right. But okay, before you hit replay, and I know you want to because I want to right now.
Oh, totally.
What if I told you that this completely euphoric, like carefree, flawless summer anthem we just blasted is actually a masterclass in acute psychological evasion?
I mean, yeah, I've been saying this.
I know. I might be ruining the pure immaculate vibe immediately for you,
Right.
but we really need to do a deep dive into what is actually going on beneath the surface of Midnight Sun.
It is, incredibly effective on a surface level. I will give you that.
Thank you.
Like, sonically, it's just a masterpiece of mood setting. But if you actually pay attention to the architecture of the lyrics, there is some serious, heavy escapism happening here.
Oh my gosh, here we go.
Listen, this isn't just a happy romantic drive down the coast. It's like a textbook flight response.
See, do we really have to overthink a perfectly good pop song?
Yes. Always.
You and I are sitting here listening to what is essentially a flawless Pinterest mood board of a summer night, and you want to turn it into a therapy session.
I mean, somebody has to.
It's just good vibes.
Yeah.
Why can't it just be good vibes?
The vibes are good, but the deeper meaning is exactly why the vibe feels so powerful to you.
What do you mean?
The reason this song feels so euphoric, so completely, untethered and breathless, is because of the stark contrast it's setting up against reality.
Okay.
You don't get a high that intense unless you're desperately escaping a pretty devastating low baseline,
All right, I am determined to protect the romantic integrity of this track, but let's argue this out.
Bring it on.
Let's look at the feeling of the escape, because you're claiming it's this dark, desperate flight response.
Which it is.
To me, it's just the universal thrill of a crush. Like she sings, "I like your playlist, boy, turn it up a little louder, road's empty, so you drive a little faster."
Yeah, sure, that part is fun.
And then that killer line, right?
Yeah.
"Ain't taking nothing tonight, but I'm feeling so high." Think about it.
I am thinking about it.
Have you ever been in that passenger seat? The bass is rattling the door panels, the wind is roaring through the open window, and you were just intoxicated by the sheer presence of someone you really like.
Oh, absolutely. It's a great feeling.
That is a pure natural adrenaline rush. There's no trauma there. It's just biology and a good playlist.
I mean, I agree with the biology part. Adrenaline is absolutely flooding her system.
Exactly.
But let's rewind literally 10 seconds to the very first lines of the track, which you conveniently just skipped over.
I didn't skip them. I just got to the good part.
The literal opening thoughts that frame this entire joyride are, "No nightmares when you can still see the light. Can't find me. I'm not in the city tonight."
Yeah, Anne.
Notice the framing there. The catalyst for the adrenaline isn't just the boy or the car. It is evasion.
Evasion. That's a strong word.
Yes, evasion. Can't find me. That is the language of someone on the run.
Okay. Dramatic much.
Well, who or what is she hiding from? The city. And the city here isn't just a geographical location, right? It represents the panopticon of daily life.
Whoa. Okay, panopticon.
Oh.
You're going to have to translate that out of your sociology textbook for a second. You mean like feeling like we're always being watched?
Exactly. Sorry. I mean, a panopticon is basically a prison design where the inmates can always be watched, but they don't know when they're being watched, so they end up policing themselves.
Right. Okay, I get that.
And that is modern city living. It's the constant surveillance of social media, the crushing obligations of your career, the emails, the feeling of always having to perform for society.
The emails are the worst.
Right. That's the city. And look at the mechanism of safety she relies on. No nightmares when you can still see the light.
Yeah, that is an interesting line.
Nightmares live in the dark. They live in our subconscious when we finally stop moving, turn off our phones, and try to go to sleep in our tiny apartments.
Okay, that's actually pretty bleak when you put it like that.
By driving out, by physically fleeing and chasing the light, she is deliberately using this road trip as a shield against anxiety. It's an active escape from a psychological burden.
Okay, I hear that, but I'm not totally buying that it has to be so dramatic.
Why not?
Let me offer a much more common alternative. Think about the feeling of closing your laptop at 5:01 p.m. on a Friday.
Best feeling in the world.
Right. You literally slam it shut, you actively ignore the 5 new emails that just popped up, you throw a bag in the trunk, and you get out of town for a weekend getaway.
Sure.
That feeling of, can't find me, I'm out of office, do not disturb. Does that really have to be about some deep, dark, subconscious anxiety? Or is it just the completely normal, healthy relief of leaving the corporate grind behind for 48 hours.
I see the out-of-office angle, and yes, that Friday feeling is universal.
Exactly.
But closing your laptop doesn't make you talk about avoiding nightmares.
No, maybe she just hates her boss.
There's a darker baseline here than just avoiding a Zoom meeting. Think about how the human nervous system works.
Oh boy, here comes the science.
When you are in that city environment, whether it's clinical anxiety or just the heavy, relentless grind of modern life, your body is constantly in a low-grade state of fight or flight.
Okay, yeah, I can relate to that.
You are perpetually tense. So that relief you're talking about, that natural high,
Yeah.
it's a massive dump of dopamine and endorphins that only happens because a massive amount of tension is finally being released.
So you're saying the joy is only that sharp because it's defined by what she's leaving in the rearview mirror.
Exactly. You can't experience the slack unless the rope was pulled incredibly tight first.
That makes sense, actually.
The city is the stressor, and leaving it behind is the absolute prerequisite for that high.
All right, I will concede that the contrast makes the colors brighter. Like,
Yeah.
we appreciate the weekend because the weekdays are exhausting.
Precisely.
But once we leave that stressful, demanding city behind, you have to admit that the destination they arrive at is pure magic.
Oh, it is beautiful.
When the chorus hits, it's like we've driven straight out of real life and into a vintage cinematic movie.
The visual aesthetic completely shifts there, doesn't it?
So much.
We go from the frantic action of driving fast and running away to a totally static, almost dreamlike setting.
Totally. It goes from motion to this perfectly frozen tableau. The lyrics hit you with all these sensory details.
The tan lines.
Yeah, tan lines, low rise, the rooftop down, and that incredible quiet intimacy of laying on your chest like this.
It's very vivid.
It paints this picture of absolute sun-drenched perfection. And what I love about it is that it feels nostalgic, even if you're experiencing it in the present moment.
What do you mean?
It's like she knows she's in a core memory that she
Yeah.
is making in real time, and she just desperately wants to hit the pause button.
And that desire to pause time is the literal core of the song's concept.
Right. The Midnight Sun.
Let's look at the title, Midnight Sun. The chorus says, "It's golden hour all the time. It's that midnight sun-kissed skin under the red sky." Now, literally speaking, a midnight sun is a natural phenomenon. It happens in the summer months north of the Arctic Circle.
Uh-huh.
The Earth tilts, and the sun remains visible at local midnight. It dips low, but it never fully sets.
Which just objectively is such a gorgeous image.
Oh, it's stunning.
Just an endless warm twilight that goes on for hours.
It is visually gorgeous, yes. But psychologically, it is a massive tell.
Why do you have to ruin it?
I'm not ruining it. Golden hour, that perfect, flattering, warm light just before sunset, is by definition fleeting. It lasts for a few minutes.
Sure.
By demanding golden hour all the time, the singer is attempting to construct an illusion, a fake reality. The midnight sun represents a liminal space.
And by liminal space, you mean?
A threshold,
Yeah.
the waiting room between two states. It's the space between today and tomorrow.
Okay.
But because the sun refuses to go down in this fantasy, tomorrow never has to officially arrive. She is stalling time to prevent reality from returning.
Stalling time.
Yeah. It's a beautifully dressed up denial. Even the line you hear repeatedly, "Summer isn't over yet," sounds less like a fact and more like a desperate plea.
Wow, okay.
It's a protest against the inevitable change of seasons and the inevitable return to the real world of the city.
Okay, hold on. Why do we have to call it an illusion or denial?
Because it's not real life.
That is such a cynical way to look at a beautiful moment, honestly.
So cynical, I call it analytical.
When you are in a situation that is that perfect, with someone who makes you feel that good, hitting the snooze button on reality isn't denial, it's self-care.
Self-care by ignoring time.
Yes. It's like, why can't this just be about being completely 100% present?
Right.
If the sun is staying up, you're not dwelling on the past, you're not stressing about tomorrow's emails, you are just soaking in a really, really long, beautiful sunset. Why must it be frantic?
You know what? That is actually a really strong counterargument.
Huh, gotcha.
Let's look at the neuroscience of what you just described, though. Being completely present.
Wait, neuroscience now.
Just stick with me. Because when you achieve that state of mindfulness, that flow state where the past and future dissolve, you actually do alter your perception of time.
Really? Like literally?
Yes. In psychology, it's related to how our brain's default mode network operates.
Default mode network, okay.
When you are sitting in the city, worrying about tomorrow or regretting yesterday, that network is highly active. Time feels like a treadmill.
Tell me about it.
But when you are heavily anchored in intense sensory experiences, like the wind, the red sky, the feeling of someone's chest,
Yeah.
you force your brain to focus entirely on incoming data in the now.
Right.
When that happens, time dilation occurs.
Time dilation. So time actually feels slower to your brain.
Exactly. Minutes can genuinely feel like hours. So you're right.
I love hearing those words.
Don't get used to it. The midnight sun concept doesn't have to be a frantic, desperate attempt to hold back the clock.
Yes.
It can simply be the subjective experience of time expanding and stopping because you are just so intensely, mindfully focused on the present moment.
I love that. And I think that intense focus on the present brings us to what is arguably the most beautiful shift in the entire song.
Oh, the second verse.
Yes. In the second verse, this physical setting, this endless sunset and paused time opens the door to something way deeper. We go from just vibing in a car to pure, raw, emotional nakedness.
This is a crucial pivot. The physical escape from the city evolves into an emotional unburdening.
Yes.
The lyric that stands out instantly to me here is, "Skinny dipping with your heart out, it's my favorite part now."
I mean, what a line. It's just so evocative.
It's a brilliant mixed metaphor because of what it reveals about human defense mechanisms.
Break it down.
Skinny dipping is the ultimate act of physical vulnerability. You are taking off all your clothes, right?
Right.
And clothes represent our social armor. They indicate our status, our jobs, our wealth.
So true.
Taking them off means you are literally exposed to the elements, completely equalized. But she pairs that physical act with your heart out.
Right. Taking the physical and making it emotional.
Precisely. It elevates it. It means they aren't just physically bare in this midnight sun. They're actively stripping away all their emotional defenses, too.
All the walls.
All the cynicism, the sarcasm, the protective walls we have to build up to survive in that city we talked about earlier, they are completely, terrifyingly, emotionally undefended.
And nature plays such a huge role in making that lack of defense feel safe.
Oh, 100%.
Because immediately after that line, she talks about grounding herself physically in the earth. She sings, "Walking barefoot, feel the grass in between my toes, bombshell wind in my hair, baby, let it blow."
It's entirely tactile.
And then she makes this ultimate declaration of safety. Feel protected by the moon and the stars. Think about that contrast. In the city, how do we feel protected?
We build walls, we lock doors, we set alarms.
Exactly. Safety is constructed and rigid. But here, entirely outside of societal walls, safety isn't a building.
No, it's not.
It's found in connection to the universe and to another person. She says, connected. I'm so in touch with it all. The emotional armor isn't needed anymore because the actual threat environment has changed from artificial to natural.
That tactile grounding you mentioned is really important too.
Mm-hmm.
Feeling the grass between your toes is a classic anxiety reduction technique.
Oh, really?
Yeah. When a therapist helps someone who is having a panic attack, they use grounding exercises. Name 5 things you can see, 4 you can touch.
I've heard of that.
By focusing on the grass and the wind, she is actively short-circuiting any lingering anxiety loops from the city.
Which is why I focus on the overwhelming sweetness of the romance here.
I know you do.
Once the armor is gone and the anxiety is short-circuited, you get these incredibly delicate, gentle moments of love.
Yeah.
She sings about initials in the sand, drawing your names together in something as temporary and beautiful as a beach.
It's a great visual.
And then there is my absolute favorite image in the entire song. Hold me like the pebbles in your hand.
I actually want to hear your take on that because it's a very specific, almost unusual simile. Why pebbles?
Okay, think about the last time you were walking on a beach or near a river and you found a perfectly smooth, round pebble.
Okay, I'm with you.
You pick it up and you just sort of naturally rub it with your thumb. It feels grounding. You slip it into your pocket.
Right.
It's not a diamond, It doesn't have intrinsic monetary value to anyone else. But to you, it's a treasure because it's a physical anchor to a specific memory. It proves that a perfect day actually happened.
It's a tactile souvenir.
Yes. Holding a pebble is holding something with gentle, grounding, precious care. You don't grip a pebble to crush it. You hold it to feel anchored.
That's a beautiful way to look at it.
Thank you. And that feeling of being held so preciously leads directly to the most vulnerable, shattering line of the whole track. It's been a while since I cried over something so nice.
Which, if we are being honest, is a profound psychological confession.
It is. But it's a happy confession. I want to playfully challenge your whole dark baseline theory right here.
Go for it.
Look at these lines together. Initials in the sand, holding pebbles, crying tears of pure joy because something is finally just, Nice.
Okay.
See, there are no dark undertones to decode there. It is pure, sweet, overwhelming joy. It is exactly as beautiful on the surface as it is underneath.
I will not argue that the joy isn't real. There is zero cynicism in that line.
So that we agree.
But, and you had to know I was going to push back here,
I figure.
I would argue that this pure joy is the ultimate reward because of the escape we discussed in the beginning. Let's look at the mechanics of those cures. Why do we cry when we are happy?
Because we're overwhelmed.
Yes, but biologically, crying is a function of the parasympathetic nervous system. It's the rest and digest system.
Okay.
It's the exact opposite of the fight or flight system you need in the city. When you are in survival mode, you don't cry. You hold it together, you build the armor.
You just survive.
Right. So why has it been a while since she cried over something nice? Because the baseline reality she left behind, the stress, the nightmares, the panopticon, didn't allow for it.
Her guard was up constantly.
Guard was up 204/7. This moment of pure, overwhelming, tear-inducing joy is only physiologically possible because they successfully made the escape, and her brain finally registered, I am safe.
Wow.
The incredible depth of the joy actually proves the necessity of the flight.
Okay, wow. That actually perfectly bridges both of our takes.
I think it does.
The joy is entirely real, but it's earned. It's the release valve finally opening.
Exactly.
And I think there's one final touch in the song that protects this joy, which brings us to the outro. After all this emotional unburdening, they sing, we ain't got to tell no one, shh.
The secret.
Yes,
Yeah.
keeping it a secret. It's like they've built a perfect little snow globe.
I like that.
And in a world where everyone posts every good thing that happens to them on social media for validation, the only way to keep the magic inside this snow globe from evaporating is to make sure nobody else knows it exists.
That makes total sense.
It makes their world feel completely untouchable. Just the two of them, the loud playlist, the bare feet, and the endless sunset.
It seals the perimeter. Psychologically, keeping the secret finalizes the separation from the outside world.
Yeah.
If you don't post about it, if you don't broadcast it to your friends back in the city can't touch it. It can't be judged, it can't be commented on, it can't be corrupted.
It belongs entirely to the Midnight Sun.
Exactly.
You know, sitting here breaking it down with you, I think we actually have to call it truce.
A truce after all this.
Yeah, because think about it. Whether I'm right and it's just a flawless vibes-first pop track about driving with the top down and falling madly in love,
Right.
or whether you're right and it's this incredibly deep, complex psychological metaphor for escaping the surveillance of modern life and finding a liminal space to survive.
It completely works either way.
It fires on all cylinders. It is undeniably a great song.
I will absolutely concede to that. I can drop the analytical lens for a moment.
Really, you can.
I can. You're right. Sometimes the harmonies, the beat, and the sheer feeling of a track are just too good to dissect into a million little pieces.
Honey.
The vibes, as you say, are simply too good to argue over. Even with all the psychology behind it, I can deeply appreciate the absolute rush of just turning the playlist up louder and driving a little faster.
See, that's what I'm talking about.
Let's stop debating who is right and just enjoy the music for what it is.
Music to my ears. We don't have to overthink it anymore. But before we dive back in, I want to turn this over to you listening right now.
Yeah, think about this.
You're sitting right here with us, and we've talked so much about what the Midnight Sun represents in this track. That perfect, suspended state of joy, safety, and escape.
A liminal space.
Right. So I want to leave you with one final thought to ponder as you go about your day. If you had the power to create your very own never-ending midnight sun-like, a single perfect feeling, a specific memory, or a fleeting moment in time that you could trap in a loop and live inside of forever without tomorrow ever coming,
That's a big question.
what would it be? What does your golden hour look like? Where are you, and who is sitting in the passenger seat next to you?
Honestly, I need to think about that myself.
Right. All right. Enough talking from us. I think we need to feel that rush one more time. Let's just listen to it again. Hit replay with us.